Hello guys, welcome to the new video. For those that don't know me, I'm Craig, serving soldier in the Household Cavalry Regiment, and today I'm just going to be reacting and comparing to the US Marine Corps training. So I was actually an instructor at Purbrights, it's a phase 1 establishment, and I just want to see how their training compares to our training. I have seen a few videos and I have seen the sort of differences, but we'll pretty much get straight into it. It's Making Marines, 12 weeks of United States Marine Corps recruit training video. I'll put the original link in the description so you can see it. But I just want to see it, so we'll pretty much get straight into it then and see how they work.
This scenario building 622 Pacific Company, you understand? Yes, sir! Or no on! The only words come out of your mouth will be yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, do you understand? Yes, sir! Tens of thousands of Marines have begun their outstanding service on these very yellow footprints. You will carry out that proud tradition to your understand. Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
So straight away you can tell it's already a lot more full on. The way they've just got off the bus onto the yellow steps. Right, they have to move very quickly. They're getting shouted at already. You will do this, you will do that. Okay, you won't do this. And already pretty much screaming in his face. And the recruits are already, yes sir, as loud as they can. They've got that initial discipline, screaming that back straight away. You won't see that in the British Army. I'll explain as we go through, because I'm sure there'll be more of it. But it's a lot more, hello, you're welcome. Okay, go over there, stand in a straight line, don't move. All right, they haven't got to move at a speed of gazelles, okay, to get everywhere. Like, I wasn't even sure what was going on there. So I have seen a short video of this before. I think they have to like read the transcript to like a family member or the careers officer. I don't get the point. I love the discipline of the US Army Marines. I've seen it before, but let's watch that again. Like, I'm not quite sure what that was achieving at all, but it is funny to watch, but it's definitely not getting anywhere for the recruits.
They're just taking your first steps and becoming members of the world's finest.
So, first week you arrive, you go through your medicals and stuff, and then you'll head down, get your haircuts, shaved off to a number 1 or a number 2, I think it is. If you're already bald, then you can just leave it, to be honest. So, but yeah, turn up with a smart haircut, but it's going to get shaved off anyway for all males.
This fighting force, the United States Marine Corps.
These recruits are entrusted to my care. These recruits are entrusted to my care. I will train them to the best of my ability. I will train them to the best of my ability. I will develop them into smartly disciplined, physically fit, basically trained Marines. Thoroughly indoctrinated. In love with foreign country. I will demand of them. And demonstrate by my own example. Highest standards. Personal conduct, morality, and professional skill.
That's really good. Once again, very disciplined, but it's showing, and they're saying that they're committed. So we would get up in front and say what we're going to do to recruits. You know, I'm here to do this. I'm here to get the best out of you, to turn you from civilian to soldier. I will give you 100%. I'm here all hours of the day. But that's like proper reading off a script as if you was in court to say, right, I am going to do this. You're like, the instructors are giving an oath to the soldiers before the soldiers give one back as well. It's pretty cool.
Take charge of these men and make them Marines. Aye, aye, sir.
So training, so this week we covered McMahon, the base of the Star Force, and then we get the recruits ready for transition to the second phase. So before the man took the high.
So this is week 3. That's for us, that's very early to do bayonet training. I'm not sure what it's like at Catterick, but even by week 3 within phase 1 training for the British Army, they would only just be finishing off their weapon handling training to do weapon handling tests in week 4. So they wouldn't have fired a rifle, and they definitely wouldn't have. They would have seen a bayonet within the lessons, but they definitely wouldn't have done bayonet training. That's definitely well later on into training. So that's really early.
Push, faster! Push! Push up with the rifle! Push faster! Hurry up!
So before we move on, we just saw a glimpse of one sort of assault course. I know the Americans have a lot, just way more better than ours. Ours are just weak compared to the Americans, I do have to say. Hand-to-hand combat. That's definitely more the British Army need to do. We definitely don't do enough hand-to-hand combat. Definitely need to do more of that. Oh, that's good to see.
Right now, we're doing the combat fitness test.
It's 2 laps, you understand? Yes, sir. Ready, go.
You know, measuring their strength, see how they're performing on that.
Get up, run. Come on.
It's important for the recruits to experience because this is their first time in recruit training. This is the first time they're learning about the Marines, and for us to throw this on them and have them train like this, it gets in their mindset that this is, it's not just about them anymore. It's not me, it's us. It's about Marines, brotherhood. We also have the senior drill instructor inspection. Basically, we get to see their attention to detail as far as our uniforms, as far as our cleanliness of weapons, and just the knowledge that we've instilled in them since the moment they picked up on.
Every Marine,
Week
so rifle
5.
Marines are also Marines and amphibians. That's like a 25-meter swing, 4-meter float, the drop from the tower, telling you overcome your fear of heights. Also, in this PFT, test your strength as well as pull-ups, crunches, and 3-mile run.
So the fitness tests are pretty good. You saw before they did the CFT, which is sort of similar to an old test we did in the army. They did it in boots, which is very realistic to what you do in your job. The PFT, I think they called it, which was in trainers and the swim test. Very good test. I actually like the Marine Corps test. It's 3 miles, pull-ups and crunches. Pull-ups should definitely be done. I think it's a great exercise. They do chin-ups, but pull-ups as if you're trying to get over a wall and stuff like that. And then the 3-mile run. The army used to be 1.5 miles. It's now 2K. I think 3 miles is a really good distance because it really does test you.
Pack up everything in the house and we move up the camp out and which moves into the second phase, which is rifle marksmanship.
So they have to move. And as you said, they're not going to do rifle marksmanship
So
till
for
week
grassroots,
6.
They have to recruit for 5 days, and they get taught about the basic fundamentals of marksmanship. A lot of these guys have never even held a weapon or anything, so it's all the way from how to handle that weapon in a safe manner to placing rolling shots in the center of a target up to 500 yards.
So yeah, that's completely different. Like I said earlier, is the British Army straight away. Week 1 is sign in. It's a lot more relaxed, like I said. It's less shouting. Don't have to be everywhere so quick. And then they go into weapon handling, week 4 weapon handling tests, and then they can start going into the ranges. They've held the weapons, but they're not actually doing any marksmanship till week 6. But they were doing bayonets and that earlier on in the training, which seems to me is a bit confusing. But we'll see how it carries on.
So the fire positions, so there's the prone, sitting, kneeling, and standing, and then we teach them every variation. We find what variation works for them, and then we take that, we practice it for that week so they can go downrange and apply it. ISMIT, so it's indoor simulated marksmanship training. They use that to simulate shooting downrange, and it gives the recruits an idea of sort of what to expect.
Simulator is very good. We have them. DCCTs at work. Absolutely awesome one because they save money. You haven't got to get ammunition all the time, but you can get them in a simulator. You can adjust winds. You can watch their fall of shots, and then you can actually get them behind a computer screen. And you can actually show them where they're sort of going wrong. It's just a great tool, and you can use it in the evenings. You know, if you can't get on the ranges because you're not booked on the ranges, you can just say, "Look, can we get on DCCT?" And it's extra training for them.
swing, ground sweep with a 5-mile hike.
See, that's got to be pretty cheeky. They call it hike, we call it a tab, tactical advance into battle. Doing it with helmets, that really does change it. For anyone who's sort of done a tab or a 2-miler, try doing it with a helmet. If you haven't done it, it totally mixes it up. I'm not sure what all the singing or trying to best describe it, obviously what they're saying as they're going along. But I know the US do that a lot. Why do you do that? Is it just to keep guys motivated or so? If you do know, can you comment below?
This week is our Table 1 relay for recruits. Many of the recruits, this is their first time ever actually firing a live round. They're taking everything that they did last week, learning how to aim, the proper shot placement, proper stances, proper positions and holds, and they're actually applying that to live rounds this week.
Good old butts, we've got them. We've got a lot of computer simulated ones now. The good old butts, get down the bus party, having to lift up the targets up and down yourself. Definitely a bit old school that.
They fire all day long, multiple days before they actually qualify. Every recruit will have a coach standing over them that is willing to help them out and turn them into the marksmen that we need to be as Marines. The goal of every Marine is to become a rifleman, proficient with their weapon, and that's what we're doing here. Is, before they leave out of here, they will be a rifleman first and foremost.
Week 8.
So this week, Fox Company had field week. Started the week off, table 2 shooting, which is that close quarter combat shooting. We worked on all those drills that Peter might taught, those tactical reloads.
See, that's definitely one thing you couldn't get away with in the British Army, just dropping your magazines on the floor. You'd mostly take a kick to the back of the head if you did that. Not sure why the US do that as well. If you do know, just comment below. It's obviously part of your tactics training, but you definitely ain't going to get away with that.
Speed reloads, control pairs to the chest, stop drills. They were put in that combat mindset, and they went out there and they accomplished their mission they were assigned to do.
Downrange area is clear.
Then they went to the field for their basic warrior training. They went out there and they did an assault course where they practiced low-light drills with flares in the air, combat gliding, and how to properly overcome obstacles in the combat territory with the combat mindset. Then they started learning land navigation, how to read a map, how to plot points on the map, and how to find those points they plotted. They worked on it during the day and at night.
Team week is first week of third phase. This is a week where we start really transitioning and giving the recruits the responsibilities of taking care of each other, doing the right thing when nobody's watching. They go to different agencies and they just help out, breaking boxes down, cleaning up, stocking shelves, whatever needs to get done around the depot. Also this week we had an interior guard showing the recruits the purpose of standing duty in a more real-life situation. The drill instructors also do scenarios. For example, if somebody comes on the area of operation and the recruits get challenged with.
This looks pretty good. It looks like they get taught the actual duties of if you was doing guard. So if you were doing that in the British Army, you just basically, if you're new to the regiment or battalion, you're pretty much going to get shoved on guard straight away. But you learn it on the job as they sort of show them the roles and the tactics in training, which is pretty handy. So you already know it for when you arrive.
Tasks like that. The Series Commander's inspection is an inspection done by the Series Commander, and what he's looking for basically is for them to be able to articulate themselves, talk with confidence, demonstrate bearing. It's preparation for company commander's inspection and the battalion commanders.
Those inspections you get as well constantly throughout training within the British Army. You pretty much have an inspection every morning of your room. Every time you go on a drill lesson, you'll get inspected, and then throughout you'll start off with like a platoon sergeant's inspection, platoon commander's inspection, and then you'll finish off with like a company commander's inspection later on down the line. And it's exactly the same. You need to be able to confidently say your number rank name, what regiment you join in, the personalities and the hierarchy, and just show them that you've got the confidence but also the turnout. So that's exactly what we do.
Inspection.
This week, Fox Company did the inventory PFT, measures the fitness of the recruits since they've been here at recruit training. It's about their middle point, measure their pull-ups, crunches, and run time, see how much improvement they made. Did the bayonet assault course, where they go through, they can put their McMap techniques that they learned to the test on a real-life scenario. Final People Stakes and the Thunderdome, where they'll be doing the final CFT. The CFT is a combat fitness test. They measure the amount of times they're able to lift a 30-pound ammo can. They do a obstacle course that consists of carrying ammo cans, zigzagging through obstacles, low crawling, high crawling, sprinting, and doing a fireman's carry. They also do a 880-meter sprint around the track.
Pretty good test.
So this week we actually had our final drill. The big thing for the recruits. This actually shows them a lot of pride and discipline. And a lot of things that the drill sergeants actually worked hard for to do.
See, you would have done your drill test back in week 7, ready before your long weekend. And then after that, you then start going into different types of training, and then it's pretty much getting ready for your pass-off.
Physical fitness test, where recruits are evaluated on pull-ups, crunches, and a run time. Next thing that we're going to be doing this week is the rappel tower. The rappel tower for the recruits is the opportunity for them to get their last little bit of courage out and show the drill sergeants that they actually want to be United States Marines.
That's good. I like that. Getting someone up high. A lot of people are scared of heights. Definitely shows that they've got the courage and they're willing to try and get over their fears. We do that, but it's around week 8 after the long weekend, I think it is. You go off and actually do a week's adventurous training, which doesn't look like these do. You go off and you do like cave-in, high ropes, hill walking and stuff like that. So it's a nice chilled week for them to get away, but it's also a way for them to practice their navving and get on things like high ropes and stuff to see what courage they've got and get over their fears.
The chamber is filled with CS gas, a non-lethal tear gas, and riot control agent.
I remember doing
Test
this.
recruits' knowledge on properly employing equipment used during biological and chemical attacks. The remainder of week 12 is spent undergoing the most defining moment of recruit training, the Crucible. The Crucible is the culminating event of the recruit training process. It is a 54-hour field training exercise executed with only 3 meals and 4 hours of sleep per night. Designed to emphasize the importance of teamwork and overcoming adversity, the Crucible culminates with a formal presentation of the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, and officially marks the transition from recruit to Marine.
That's pretty cool. They get that issued at the end. It's completely different training though. I know it's only a small insight, so I've mostly missed quite a bit. But the training's definitely a lot more jumbled around compared to what ours is. I don't get what all the screaming and shouting is at the beginning sometimes, but I do love how the US Marines are so disciplined and the pride that they have they install in all their recruits. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any insight for us or any more information, comment below. Any more videos you'd like me to watch, just comment in below, and I'll see you in future videos.
You have to be your biggest fan, and when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that, because you don't know who you're going to be, who you're going to be, who you're going to be.